This podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
Is it a chill or a ghostly breeze? Or knock a tap, what do you believe? Ghosts, gossip, gather around, where the lost and the haunted are found. Ghosts, gossip, don't make a sound. Truth or tales, we'll dig it out.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ghost Gossip. Today, I have Erica with Soul-Lo Paranormal. Hi, Erica.
Hey. Hello.
And
Hi.
happy birthday!
Thank you. Another trip around the sun.
Yes,
It's
yes.
been a great year.
Good. I'm so glad. You've had a lot happening lately.
Yeah. My life's well, one, it got turned upside down last year, and then I decided just to do something different and with the paranormal stuff, and here I am doing fun things.
It's always funny when life just likes to shake it up and knock you on your ass a few times, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's
But
like it keeps
what was
humble.
life?
I know I was listening to your live last night with Jocelyn, but just to get started, how did you get started in the paranormal field?
So I've always kind of been interested in the paranormal, and I would say it was probably more so the TV shows, Ghost Hunters, Kindred Spirits. I loved Amy and Adam. And I would watch them. My mom would watch them, and we were always like really interested in going out and doing that, like, going to a haunted location and doing an investigation. So, some of these, big kind of companies or whatever started doing big investigations, bringing in people, like Ghost Hunts USA. So I had found a place at actually Glore Psychiatric Museum where you went before, right? You were there. Yeah, you were with us.
I was there.
And yeah, and they had an investigation there. So I bought tickets for my mom and I for her birthday to go. And that was our first investigation. And I had an experience there that I was like, I've never felt anything like this before. Like it just like made me so interested in how that could happen. And so I just deep dived into it and started to find more places I could go investigate with people, started meeting people, and I started working with Mike and Sam with haunted rooms. But I've known them for a long time because they live in my area and they're actually patients of mine at my dental office. So I've known them for a long time. So we started talking. They're like, join us, come hang out with us, come to some of our events. And then, I started working with them and going to different places, meeting a lot of new people. And so I've, made great friends and been able to collab with a lot of people, go to different places. And then I decided to just kind of not necessarily do my own thing, but have a place where I can put my evidence and kind of have a name for myself in the paranormal community, because I really wasn't in it in a way. So I decided to start Soul-Lo Paranormal and start my Facebook page, go to a location by myself, record, get evidence, and then just put it out there for people to see. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. You don't see too many female investigators out on their own doing it by themselves. There are a handful, but I've never really seen them out on YouTube. And I'm not out to try to make a lot of money or do YouTube videos. I'm going to do it a few times, put it out there and for people just to view, but I'd love for people to check it out.
Yeah, which I love because I am a chicken shit and I don't want to be alone. We've all learned that. I don't want to be alone.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I've gone to places and I've never been scared out of or felt nervous or going into any kind of haunted location. So I felt I could probably handle it on my own. But I will tell you, when I did it, because I did McIntyre Villa and that's coming out tonight, going there, I've never been nervous going into a location, but knowing I was going to be alone and not meeting up with people or investigating with people, it's a different feeling. It was definitely a different feeling. And I was feeling a little nervous and going in, and it was just, I liked it. I had a good time and I enjoyed myself, and I feel like I got good evidence, had enough to make a video out of, but it was just definitely a different feeling. Because the energy level, when you have a group of people, everybody's energy is different. and spirit can react to that type of energy. But generally, when I'm with, people I know and investigating, the energy is pretty high and you get great communication and great evidence. So I was a little worried that with me being by myself that it wouldn't be as high energy. But I feel like I went in with good intentions. My intentions were set on communication and I felt like I got some good communication.
Yeah. I've never been to McIntyre, but I want to. I interviewed Steph actually, and so I've been
Yeah.
editing that episode.
Yeah, I'm sure she's funny. I love her. She's all over the place. And if you interviewed her while she was at McIntyre, there's a lot going on. When she's there, like spirit is constantly like trying to get her attention. So she
Mhm.
tends to like squirrel, like, did you hear that?
Yes,
But we
she
love
did,
her.
but it was a
Yeah,
lot of fun. She was a lot of fun. She kinda gave me a tour around the house, and
cool.
it was, not too much of it, but it was really cool to see it,
Hmm.
even if it was just like a FaceTime video or it was Riverside, but it was like a FaceTime video. Am I super lagged
Sure.
to you?
A tiny bit, but not too bad.
It drives me I don't know why it's doing this. So, what was your experience at Glore that really
Yeah. So prior to us going on the investigation, you could go in and do the tour because it's a museum. So, there's 3 levels and it's all psychiatric, like from the hospital, everything that you can think of that they may have done to the patients or for the patients at the psychiatric hospital. So there's tons of stuff in there to look at. So I went through, and this is literally like kind of my first time going to a haunted place other than when my mom and we were in Savannah and did just like a little haunted tour. But this is my first time in a like true haunted location. And I didn't have any equipment. I downloaded an app on my phone and I was like, I'm just going to go in, walk around, see what it's like. But I went downstairs into the basement area where they have the morgue is there. There's also like a little room where it's rehabilitation area where it shows kind of like, the tubs that they put you in or different workout stuff that they would have them do. And as I was walking through the rehabilitation area, I just felt this overwhelming tension in a way. It's almost like my legs tightened up, like stop moving. And then I had the app going on my phone, and the app was like entity present. And I was like, oh, okay. And so I was trying to speak to whoever was there. And I was like, if somebody's here, and there was people walking around, milling around with their kids and doing the whole thing. So I was trying to be quiet. And I was trying to talk to somebody. Then it said entity present again. And then something happened with my phone. It like the flashlight turned on and then it buzzed in my hand and it freaked me out. I was like, I'm out. I'm out of here. So I left and then we came back, did the investigation with them, and they split you off in groups and then you go off and, do the different groups. And then it's free roam. And then at free roam time, I told my mom, I was like, we need to go downstairs. And there was a couple other girls that we had met and they were like, we'll go with you. So I said, there's definitely something downstairs. And I explained kind of what I got prior. And we go down there. We went actually into the morgue. And where the morgue is, there's like that table where the fake body's laying on.
Mhm.
I was on one side and I had my app going in on my phone in my hand, and the other 2 girls were across, and my mom was kinda standing at the head of the table. I think they were using rods too, I can't remember. But, my phone app popped up, entity present, and we're trying to ask questions, and they were like, "You need to come over here. It feels really weird. Just come over here and see what you feel." And as I walked around the table, I walked directly behind him. And as I walked behind him, it was like I walked into a cloud of static electricity. Like every inch of my body just lit up. My hair stood up. I was like, what the heck is this? My phone crashed. Like it just went dead, like it died. And I had to like reboot it, turn it back on just to get it back on. And I'm grabbing my mom. I'm like, do you feel this? And she's like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, how do you not feel that? Literally every hair on my body was standing up. And I left. And we just kind of booked it out of there after that. And the people that were running it, there was a psychic medium on their team, and we were down there and we were kind of explaining to her. And I was standing in the hallway, but my back was facing the morgue. And she's like, yeah, there's something in there, and it just rushed you, like it came up to you and then pulled back. So I felt that, and I was like, that was the coolest thing I think I've ever experienced. And I haven't experienced it to that level since then, but I will get the tingles, I'll get the feels at places, but I have not it's literally like I walked into spirit
Mhm.
and stood there. And it literally it crashed my phone. It and I mean, you would think, like, as much EMF that they put off, it just yeah, it just turned my phone completely off. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah,
So, yeah, that got me hooked.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have been
Mhm.
rushed by a spirit before, and it is like it is, to people that don't believe, it's kinda hard to explain that you feel like a giant, almost like a linebacker, rushing you at full speed and then stopping right before they hit you, and it's like
It's
that.
scary.
And I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had it happen before,
Mhm.
and it's a lot, but it is addicting when you feel it and you can't explain it, and then not everybody else understands it or experiences it, and you're like, "What is happening? I need to know more."
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, "Okay, I gotta do more of these." I have to find more. So then it just kinda bloomed from there, and then I'd started buying equipment, and then I had another friend that lives out near me. She's also a psychic medium, and she does investigations. So I'll and we do she does home cleansing, so we'll go to people's homes and do and investigate there and then help not, but I don't
Nice.
do that as often with her, but, every once in a while, she'll call me. She needs backup for a place, but it's just blossomed and it's become I don't know, it's just become a second nature to try to speak with spirit. And I do it at home too. I like to speak with, spirit guides and things like that, past loved ones. I use a lot of divination tools to do that here, but
Now how does your family feel about it?
they're all they're really supportive. My husband's 100% supportive. Like, he's like, "You love to do this. You go do it. You're doing great things." My son, my youngest, he's interested in it. He's actually coming with me the end of the month to Sleeper. I'm gonna take him, and he's done one investigation with me at Farrar Elementary in Iowa. I think he was only like 12 when we did that. But he wants to do it again. So I'm gonna take him the end of the month. My oldest son, he's one who's like, just don't bring anything home, or if lights start flickering around the house, he's like, Mom. And I'm like, Sorry, dude. Well, I'll sage, it'll be okay. So
That's my daughter. She's like, "Mom, stop bringing stuff home." Like, when
mhm,
this one showed up, my god,
uh,
you would have thought that I brought home a demon. She was so mad at me.
yeah. So, but they are very supportive. Yeah.
Well, that's great. My husband's the same way. Like, he does, he's on episodes with me every once in a while, and
Yes.
he goes to places with me, but this is definitely my thing, and he's just like, "You're doing great." Same thing. "You
Yeah.
do great things. Keep going. You're doing great."
Yeah. Yeah, I love to do it. It's a lot of fun. I've met great people, made the best of friends in this community. So it's been awesome. It's been awesome.
What is
I got to
like
meet you.
right? I got to hang out in your car the first night I met you. Like, I
Yeah.
went with a stranger to a strange place in the dark. Everything my mom
Mhm.
told me not to do.
Right, and then I leave you hanging in a Missouri State Penitentiary, and you know what? Like you said, you seen that person, maybe, when you were all by yourself. Maybe that was the 7-foot tall shadow figure that hangs out there at death row because we were right in death row area where you seen it.
Right.
Have you
Well,
thought about that?
this person had a flashlight though.
No.
So the
Yeah.
one in death row had a flashlight, but the giant big boy was down in the psychiatric when we
Yeah.
were like setting up and you
Right.
put your laser grid out.
Yeah.
That was in
Yeah.
that he was there. I got a hater comment on that. Fake, fake,
Well,
fake, fake. And I was like, have I made it?
it's
Is is this
yeah.
is this the indication that I have made it
Yeah.
online?
Yeah, not everybody's gonna believe, and that's fine.
Yeah,
They have the right to their opinion,
that's
but
right.
if you truly think that you don't believe that that's what you captured, and the paranormal is abnormal. We don't know. Like, you can't
Unknown.
say for certain that that's what it is. I mean, if you feel like you got something and it was a great experience that you had, it was all that's all it's about. It's about that experience and having a good time and finding evidence and whether or not it's legit. If it could have been something else, could have been
Mhm.
somebody else's shadow. Who knows? But it's the unexplained. Nobody can explain it.
That's right. I showed Daniel when I got home because I was like, "Am I seeing things?" because I took the before picture with the flash and the after picture without the flash,
Mhm.
and there is a fire extinguisher box right there. But if you look at the picture, especially on a computer screen, it is you can see the fire extinguisher box through the shadow.
Through it. Mhm.
So it's
Yeah.
really weird. And Daniel's like, "Ashley,
Yeah.
I don't always believe in everything, but there is
Yeah.
no reason that shadow should be shaped like a person."
Yeah. And when I think you showed it to us that night, and I mean, just looking at it, it was like really hard to tell. You're kind of in the moment, and you're like, God, it could be,
Yeah.
but it's really hard when you don't have like multiple angles or whatever to like really
Yeah.
decipher it. But yeah, I mean, it looks legit to me just by looking at it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Either way, that was such a cool experience. We didn't get a
Mhm.
lot that day, but that was so fun, and I know that I had talked to Penn after. She goes, "I just wanted you to see as much as possible," and I was like, "I
Yeah.
had the best time. It was fantastic."
Yeah. Yeah. We're blessed in this area to have so many things so close to us
Yeah.
within a decent driving distance. I mean, I'm in the middle of Missouri, so I could hit Illinois, I can hit Kansas and Arkansas and places like that. It's just within, Iowa, all drivable in a
Yeah.
day, less than a day. So it's
We
pretty good.
are Savannah and Charleston are the closest places to us. There's some places in North Carolina, there's a prison there that's about 2 hours away. Charleston, like,
Yeah.
so South Carolina, Charleston's the closest, and then Savannah in Georgia, which is about 4 hours from where I am, but then everything else is 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9, 15. It's like, "Why?"
Yeah. It's a long drive. Well, it's like we drove to Texas and I was like, I think that's the longest I've driven for any paranormal investigation this last weekend.
How far was
It
that?
was long. It was for me about 9 hours.
Wow, yeah.
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 Stopped in Tulsa, picked somebody up, and then drove the rest of the way. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I was gonna come, I wanted to come, my gut was
Yeah.
telling me not to, and I had talked to Tony and Penn, and they're like, "If your gut is telling you not to, don't."
Yeah.
And it actually one of my daughters had, like, a little bit of an emergency, like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
week, and so, oddly enough, it's very good that I didn't go because I needed to be home with her.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's right there. You listen to your gut. You're telling you your intuition strong. So pay
Yeah.
attention for
Yes.
sure.
I always tell my girls, like, especially as they get older and become teenagers and they're out of the house more, it's like, always trust your gut. Your gut is never wrong. The only time it fails you is when
Mhm.
you don't listen to it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Most definitely.
So, your investigative group, or not a group, it's just you, but your
It's just
name
me.
is Solo, and it's spelled
Yes.
like soul, which I love. Now, did that just hit you out of nowhere?
That just hit me out of nowhere. I was kind of thinking, I was like, it'd be kind of fun to kind of do my own thing. You don't see too many females in there. And I don't know. It's just one night, I think it was, I don't know. I just woke up in the middle of the night and it just said something just said Solo Paranormal, Soullo Paranormal. And so I was like, okay, so I looked it up just to make sure there wasn't anywhere else, and you see solo as in SOLO paranormal, but
Mhm.
soul. And I thought that just really resonated with me because you're trying to speak through your soul to another soul or whatever. And I don't know. I just like it.
Oh, it's perfect. It's
Yeah.
perfect, and it fits you so well.
Yeah. And then the one girl, one location, one night that hit me that same night. I was like, oh, that's a great slogan.
That just gave me
So
chills.
yeah.
That just gave me
Yeah.
chills. It's
Yeah. I
great.
love
It
it.
it really is, and as a scaredy cat, like, I somebody told me, "You have balls of steel to go in these places," and I'm like, "I really don't," like, and I'm thinking of, like, you and people that, because I remember when we were together, you're like, "You should do a solo in the
Mm,
dungeons," and I went,
mm.
"No, I'm not ready."
Aw. I know, just throwing you to the wolves. I mean, just get in there and do it.
She looks sweet and innocent, guys, but watch out. Sink or swim, heifer. Go.
Sink or swim. Yep. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
So you have a lot going on. You don't just do your paranormal investigations, you do other things.
No, yeah. I have I have a full-time job as a dental assistant. I am also a cake baker. I do custom cakes on the side and investigate. And yeah, my life's pretty full. Mom, parent, wife, all the jazz, life's full.
Now, did you ever have a career in, like, editing or film or anything like that, or are you self-taught?
Yeah. Self-taught. Yeah. And speaking of that's also a new position I have recently gained as editor in chief of, yeah, the Panadol. So no, I'd say in the last few years, like, I'll take I'll record and stuff while we're doing investigations, and then I'll come back and I'll, go through all the evidence and watch, and I get so much stuff just on video recorders or EVPs and stuff like that and catch it. It's mostly EVPs that I'll catch on my video or whatever. And then I'll just kind of cut it and make little videos or whatever. So I started doing that a few years ago, but then I decided since I'm doing this solo thing, I'm like, well, I'm going to need a couple cameras. I'm going to have to, figure out how to do this. So I had been using CapCut for, TikTok stuff like that. And my son helped me with a lot of it. He's like showing me different ways to do it. But I was like, I think it was after Sally House when we went to Sally House and I filmed and I told Jocelyn, I was like, this is all your evidence. I will, I'll go through it and I'll cut it up, and send it to you so you can make your episode. And I decided, well, I'm just going to try to make an episode with all this evidence. And I did it and, sent it to her and she adjusted a few things that she wanted to put in there. And then, we put it out and then it just kind of blew up from there. We made another Sally episode and then we went to Galveston. I filmed there and I was like, well, I was like, it's practice for me for when I do my investigation and I'm going to need to edit my video. So I just kind of use that as more practice with her stuff. And I fell in love with it, honestly. It was so much fun to do. It is very long and it's very, as you know, editing takes a long time,
Yes.
cutting in things and that sort of thing, or cutting out and audio and all that jazz. So it does, but as I do it, it's gonna get quicker and better. But the hardest thing is when you have three cameras going in different things and going through all that at the time and trying to get different things in, it's just time consuming. So that's just added to my daily challenges.
I don't know how you sift through evidence because just the few videos that I took at MSP and at the Crescent when I went, I haven't looked at any of them. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, it's, especially if you just have a static camera setting up facing one thing, it's hard to sit there and just watch.
It's like watching paint dry.
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry. And most of the time I'm listening really for EVPs too, because I've captured the craziest EVPs on static cams like that. But I haven't yet to really capture anything move or, shadow figures or anything like that. But it's mostly EVPs.
Yeah. I have, on my camera that I took to the Crescent, I might have caught something moving, and I
Uh-huh.
totally forgot about it until, like, yesterday, and then I was watching your live, and you were talking about going through evidence, and I was like, "I never looked at that stuff."
Yeah. It's just yeah, you just have to have the time, try to find the time to do it, and that's the hard part, and especially, like, after you've been investigating, generally, I'll wanna come home and go through it, like, right away, but I can't. It's like by the paranormal hangovers for real. You wake up
Yes.
that next day or whatever that morning, and I'm over 50 now, and I can't recover that quick anymore, so I need a good 24 hours before I even try to mess with
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you stay all night? Like, you sleep there alone?
Yeah. Mhm. I did this last one. And I guess depending on the location, but my solos, I plan to just kind of go to places that I'm familiar with, that I know are safe, that I can lock up, that I'm comfortable in alone. If I go
Right.
somewhere that I don't know or that I'm not comfortable, my husband will probably come with me, not inside the building or anything like that. He'll probably just hang out, in the parking lot or driveway or whatever, or be close to where if I needed something, he'd be right there. At the moment, it's just places like McIntyre. I know like the back of my hand. I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with the spirits. They're comfortable with me. I know I can lock things up. And I do also bring another camera that I kind of set up near or outside to where if I need to look at it, I can, check and see if something's going on. If I'm in another location of the house or the location, I can see if something or somebody's come through a front door or back door or whatever.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially some of these, like, abandoned locations, they can be dangerous, and not with the dead, the
Yeah,
living.
for sure, and that's what you wanna worry more about when you're doing this kinda stuff anyway is the living, not the dead. But I don't think I'll if I do a solo, say, in a, like, abandoned location, it's not gonna be an all-nighter. Like, I will go in, spend a couple hours or whatever, and then out. But it'd have to be a place where I could feel safe and lock myself up and not worry too much about somebody coming in and mess with me. And that's why I don't tell anybody other than, like close friends or
Right,
something. If I'm where I'm going, I won't go live at a location if I'm alone because I just don't,
right.
I don't want people knowing where I'm at.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
safety is important, especially and I hate to say it, but especially I mean, it's important for everybody, but when you're a female and if you're alone especially or just, a couple females, people prey on that,
Yeah.
sadly. So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why like some locations, like when you go to book, you can kind of see who's got what, like who's booked what. And I kind of wish that they wouldn't really do that, especially for people who are solo. Not everybody needs to know that I have that for the night or for the weekend or
right.
whatever.
Huh.
But
I didn't know
yeah.
that. I've never booked a place on my own, so, we go to haunted hotels, but they're operating hotels, so it's you can't see
Right.
who's there or, that's
Yeah.
there's confidentiality there, but so I've never booked
Yeah.
an actual location like that. So you would think
Uh-huh.
that wouldn't be available to just anybody.
Yeah, it not all locations are like that, but I've seen a few that, have the names of the groups or the teams or whatnot on there, but yeah.
Is there a place that you've been that you'll never go back?
No, I have not come across that yet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and I mean, no. And if there was, I'm not gonna say it, you
yeah,
know?
I get it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna call it out, but,
No, no, no,
um
no.
there are places like there's places that I've done multiple times that I'm like, "I'm good. I'm good now." Like, if I were
Right.
to go back, it's, like, not anything that I feel like I need to get more evidence or more information or find out who's here. I've kind of exasperated it,
Mhm.
but yeah, really, you you tell me we're going to a haunted location, we're gonna investigate, I'm going.
She's
I'm
down.
going.
Let's
Come
go.
on, let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
my husband and I can't remember where it was, and I wouldn't say it again, I wouldn't say it if it was, but we went someplace and we left and we're like, "Okay, we're good. Like, we
Yeah.
don't need to go back. We're good."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there are some places like that that, I won't make the trip back, but that's okay. And it's not necessarily like there wasn't any evidence because I don't discount a place if I don't get evidence. If I don't get communication, I don't discount a place and say they're lying, it's not haunted. Because who am I to say that? Like they just spirit didn't want to communicate
Right.
with me that night. So, but I have yet to be at a place where I haven't gotten any type of communication. So some quieter than others, but no, not to say, oh, this isn't haunted because I'm not going to do that.
Well, and sometimes spirits, I mean, they were people, and not everybody likes everybody in life. So why would spirit feel comfortable with everybody in death? And especially if you don't have
Hmm.
great intentions or, say they're just the energy is off and they've had a long day because you don't know what or who have been in there before that you've
Right.
come there. They might be exhausted. They might just not want to talk.
Yeah. And the energy has a lot to do with it. So if somebody's coming in with pent up negative energy or they had a bad day, da, 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 their energy is just spirit. You have to have that light, that white light, that love and light, and spirit they will attract to that. So
Hmm.
if you come in with a negative attitude or yeah, spirit will be like, I'll talk to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. My little house ghost, he hated me. He didn't wanna talk to me, but he wanted to make sure that I knew that he hated me and that he didn't wanna talk to me.
Yeah. And sometimes, spirit, like you said, they were people too. They were on this realm with us. They had a body, they had negative thoughts, positive thoughts, whatever. But if they're a curmudgeon, the whole world word curmudgeon, they're a curmudgeon in life, they're gonna be a curmudgeon on the other side. I mean, for whatever reason, they're here. If they're still here and they're coming back, I mean, because I believe in negative spirits, but I believe it's more just not like demonic or anything like that. It's just a negative spirit. They're just not happy for whatever reason. They haven't accomplished what they need to accomplish or whatever it is. They're just negative. They're
Yep.
not positive. They're not
Low
love and light.
vibration.
Yeah.
And especially if they were a low vibration when they were alive, they are not going, in my opinion, I'm not unprofessional opinion because I'm not a professional, but if if they weren't high vibrational, if they were low vibrational when they were living, crotchety, pessimistic, more than likely, they're not gonna just die and be like, "Oh, I'm happy now." They're more
Yeah,
than likely gonna continue to be low vibrational and exist at a
yeah,
low vibration in the next realm or dimension or
yeah.
plane or wherever they go.
Yeah, nobody can tell you the true meaning of it, but yeah, I mean, if there's we have low vibration here, high vibration, yeah, why couldn't it be the same? It's probably the same on the other side. So hopefully those two on the other side don't mix together like they do here, because when I cross over, I want it to be all love and light. I don't want to have any negativity in that realm.
I definitely, definitely agree. What is your and I ask all investigators this because I love hearing all the answers. What is your
Mhm.
favorite piece of equipment?
So I have so much. Honestly, like generally tend to get out my tripwire, which is, the purple lights, the wire, the bell that I got that about a year ago. That seems to get good interaction. And I recently just got a flux, which the flux is that little triangle with the red and green lights on it. That's gotten some really interesting evidence with it. I really like using that. And it doesn't happen all the time, but when they hit it and they do so, it's pretty cool because you can do the yes and a no. Flashlights are one of my favorite.
Love a
I
flashlight.
Yeah, I get great stuff with the flashlight. And when you tell it to, when you say, okay, turn it off, and it's off and on and they're answering questions, it's like the best.
I just had, energy move through me, so that's why I was looking to see if I just felt a whole energy shift right through me. So I was like, "Is she going to turn something on?" Because every once in a while she will. I don't have
Yeah.
her flashlight set up though. I It's up there, I didn't
Nah,
turn it on.
that's maybe what she's talking about. She's like, turn my flashlight on. We're talking about it.
I know. And she's turned it on and off before, which is I've only seen it let's
Hmm.
see, I saw it at Galore for the first time in person when I was with y'all, and it was at the end of the tunnel. So,
Huh. Yeah.
that was the first time I've ever seen it in person happen.
Yeah, I really enjoy using those, and then I've got my recorder, the DR60, which some people love, some people hate. They are ridiculously expensive, but I've
Yes.
picked up some great EVPs with it. I mean, class A. You could see it even on Sally House episodes that we did. Like you could hear the whisper.
Mhm.
It's crazy, but yeah. So those are a few things that I like to use.
Yep, yep. There's somebody definitely trying to communicate right now.
Awesome. Dowsing rods and pendulums are another one of my favorites to use.
Oh, I love dowsing rods. I need a new set. I don't like mine kinda, like, bent. I'm not sure how they bent, but they kinda, like they're now bent and they're not working right, and I'm just like, "Eh."
Yeah.
But I love a pendulum. Sometimes my hands, especially if I haven't eaten, they'll shake, and I'm like, "Okay, I can't do
Yeah.
this today."
Yeah. I use pendulums more with, communication with spirit guides and things like that.
Makes
At
sense.
home more so than I do in haunted locations, but I
Yeah,
will get out the dowsing rods every once in a while at a location, and you'll see it tonight on my episode. I do use it a little bit in the library at McIntyre to
I'm
talk to
excited for
Charles.
your episode. Very excited.
Yeah, me too.
So, when I was interviewing Steph, there was a man in the room with her. He wasn't there the whole time, but I felt him enter the room and very strong presence. Have you had any experience with a male energy at the McIntyre Villa?
Yeah, generally Charles upstairs in the library.
That's where she
He's
was.
Yeah, he's very active in there. He doesn't necessarily come out too much in the other house. He stays kind of in that area. If you don't know much of the history about that, Charles Donovan was the one that unalived himself in that area. The house has changed. That used to be bedrooms. And so there
Right.
was a bedroom and another bedroom where the bathrooms are now. So they think it was in that area. So that's generally where he likes to stay. He kind of stays back in that bathroom that's in the library there. But he's very strong. And Peter Donovan also kind of like is in that area as well that hangs out there.
Well, I think you do great. Like, when I met you, it was like, I was like, this lady, like, she's so nice and she's so fun. And you're like this ball of energy. And you just give off this really contagious, like, happiness, excitable vibe. It was really nice to be around, especially, like, I used to not travel by myself at all, And so that was one of the
Oh,
bigger trips that I did by myself. So it was so nice
yeah,
coming and being so welcomed, and it was just
yeah,
it was lovely, and I was so glad that I got to experience Glore and Belvoir and MSP with you, all 3.
all 3. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was glad you got to come, I got to meet you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a great weekend.
I love Belvoir, but I don't know if I would ever stay there again.
Yeah.
There's a
Well,
lot
I
of
had the
energy.
there is a lot of energy, and I've had experiences at Belvoir, staying there, sleeping there. Only one time I've stayed there quite a few times since, but one time I had that sleep paralysis feeling like something is, on
Mm,
top of me.
mhm,
And that wasn't yeah, that wasn't pleasant at all. And I've only had that happen one other time, and it was at McIntyre Villa just last October. I stayed in the doll room and slept on one of the beds and had that feeling like something was crawling up on my legs, and then starting to get that feeling
mm.
like I'm being pushed down and you can't move,
It's
say
terrifying.
anything. Yeah. Yeah. It was quite scary. I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I only had sleep paralysis in my haunted house when I lived there, and I haven't had it since I moved. When I was at Belvoir, the first experience I had there, y'all had gone to dinner,
Mhm.
and Ashley, Tony, Caitlin, and we stayed back and we had DoorDash brought in. And we were just sitting there talking, and I felt children walk up. Like it was
Yeah.
just, it was a lot of energy, but it wasn't bad. And it was like they just kind of approached. And then that night, I
Mhm.
was in the ballroom on the
Yeah,
2nd
down on the
floor,
second floor.
and I kept getting this urge to look outside, and so I just kept looking outside, and then it was Jennifer and her husband, and there was another woman with her, Lindsay, I believe,
Mhm.
and they were doing Estes, and it said "outside," and so I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then Ashley from Let's Go Goals came in, and she did an EVP and asked if they were outside or where they were buried, north, south, east, west. And I think he said east, which is where I think the cemetery is.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure because I don't know directions. It was that
Yeah.
away. So but
Yeah.
it was really cool, and then when I went to bed, Tony had gone to sleep, and I walk in, and she sits up and looks at me, and she goes, "He's so loud," and I was like, "Who's so loud?" And it was the man next to our room
Yeah.
snoring, definitely had sleep apnea. He needs to get checked, seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the only kinda downfall. I mean, that place is beautiful, they did a great job, but the walls are so thin up there in the end, and the way they have the beds headboards facing each other on the walls. Like,
Yes.
spread them
Yes.
out, because yeah, you're literally sleeping,
Head to head.
head to head with those, and the walls are just very thin. So you'll hear walking if people get up and move around in the room next to you, you'll hear the footsteps, you'll hear the conversations. It's very thin
Yeah.
walls.
Yeah, and while I was going to bed, I could feel kids. It's like almost like they were following me around that night.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I laid down and I said, "Don't touch me. Please don't stare at
Yeah.
me. I just need to go to
Well,
sleep."
yeah, and that place was that's where the orphanage was. So there's a lot of children residual energy there from the kiddos that that resided there.
It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, but I
Yeah.
told Daniel, like, "I wanna take him back. I want him to go, but I don't wanna stay there."
Oh, there's plenty of places to stay. Plenty of places to stay around there. But yeah, it's a neat place. I
Do
love
you
it.
have
It's
a
kind was one of my
favorite?
favorites. Yeah,
Ah.
it was it was one of my favorites. But it's a place like I've investigated a lot. So when I go, it's more just to be there. It's a winery too, so if you like wine,
I love
I
wine.
mean, it's fun to just go get a bottle of wine, sit out, hang out at the property and relax. It's just a really neat place. Walk around the old buildings. They're all kind of dilapidated now, so you really can't go in or get into them because it's just not safe.
Yeah,
Floors are crumbling, ceilings are gone. It's just not safe to be in, but it's just kind of neat to walk the property and see. It's just such old history there.
yeah. Have you ever seen, like, an apparition?
I I've seen shadows and things like peripheral. I mean, generally, I have not like looked straight on and seen an apparition. It's mostly like out of the side of my eye or whatever. We were in I was in a house. I was with the friend of mine that does cleansings, and we were in the house, and it was as she was cleansing the house, I saw this just flash something like run, and she's like, it's trying to get away from what I'm doing. But I haven't, other than just like slight, like little shadow figures or I've not seen a full body apparition yet.
Yeah, I have
I'm hoping to.
I don't know if I have. It was right before I interviewed the owner of the Boyd House.
Hmm.
It was I can't remember what day it was, but it was a few days before I interviewed her. And I was in my living room and and I try to protect the house. I try to make sure that nothing comes in, but unfortunately they do come in, and especially with what I talk about and being sensitive like I am, they do come into the house and usually they will leave if I ask them to. But I was sitting there and I was talking to Daniel, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a woman in a white dress with kinda, like, messy hair,
Mm,
and she was standing in the doorway between my office and living room, and, like, I was mid-sentence to him, and I just stopped,
yeah.
and I don't know if that was a woman or if it was
Eh,
just something I saw out of my side eye, you know what I mean? Like, I don't
yeah.
know, but it was
So,
enough to stop me.
yeah. But with your abilities, you got the abilities where you can see things, hear things, feel things. It very well could have been a more of a in your mind type thing. And it just that's where you put
Yeah,
it, like where you were looking. Not necessarily that she was in your house, but
right.
maybe she was just showing herself to you. And it very well could have been somebody that belongs to that Boyd house,
Well, what's
knowing,
funny is Jill is the owner of the Boyd House. Her
mm,
husband saw a full-bodied apparition of a woman in the Boyd House with brown, messy hair. Not so much messy, but not like put together, just kinda looked a
yeah,
little disheveled in a white
yeah,
dress.
yeah. So, yeah, maybe she was coming through to say, hey, I'm here. Or maybe she was trying to get a message to you that you weren't picking up so much, but you
Yeah.
got her image.
Yeah. It was Daniel's like, "I've never had you just stop mid-sentence like that without, like, perimenopausal fog, because like, every once in a while, I just forget what I'm saying, but this was different. It's like when you see something mid-sentence, you're like, "Ugh," and your brain just it
Yeah.
was weird. It was very weird,
Yeah.
so
You
I was
can't
just
process
wondering.
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Steph. She was talking about she saw full bodied. She goes, "It wasn't in the moment, it was the after that really took her a moment to, like, process it,"
Yeah.
and it's like your brain just can't
Yeah.
understand that. I don't know.
Yeah. I keep asking for him to show yourself, show yourself. I'd love to see it, but I have yet to see it yet.
Now, you've been to the Crescent.
I have. Yeah.
You went to Now have you gone and, like, stayed there, or did you just go for the ESP weekend?
I've stayed there before. My husband and I, a couple years ago, we went and we stayed there. And then I did the ESP weekend last year, not this past one, but the one before that.
Right.
Last was January. January. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
It was a
That
lot
was
of
a lot of
fun.
Yeah. It's a really cool place. And I'm so glad I was able to go and do that experience. Yeah, I'll definitely go back. Go back. It's a neat
Yeah. I wish it was closer. I wish all y'all were closer. I wish every place was closer.
I know. Oh, you gotta be all the way down in the Carolinas.
You're coming to the Carolinas. I'm excited.
Yes. Yeah.
Are y'all
Yeah.
driving?
No, we're flying. Jocelyn wanted to drive. I planned on flying no matter what. And I was gonna fly somewhere and kinda meet her in a way where she can pick me up and then head that way. But I got her talked into flying. I was like, "That's way too long of a
It's a
drive."
long drive.
Like, just I found some decent prices on tickets. I said, "Let's get these because you're flying." So she's gotta now fly alone. This is gonna be her first time. So she's stepping outside of her box to fly somewhere by herself. Like, "Oh, you'll meet me. We'll be fine. We'll be fine."
Well, that's right, 'cause she's
Yeah.
Oklahoma and you're Missouri.
Mhm. Yep.
Wow. Yep, yep. I was gonna say, 'cause I had thought about I'm doing a Paracon in
Mhm.
Arkansas
July?
in June,
June, yeah.
and I was considering driving, and I was talking to Daniel, and he's like, "Ashley, just fly. Just fly." He's like,
Yeah.
and my friend was gonna come with me, but it just was one of those things, it was like, I hate being in the car that long, and I have back issues, and so if I sit too
Mhm.
long, I get my back locks up, and I can't
Yeah.
It's about 10 hours to Little Rock.
That's a long drive. I mean,
It
like I
was
said, I just did Texas and it was like 9 hours and That's probably the furthest that I'll drive.
That's a long
'Cause
way for just a weekend.
it's yeah, and, you know, you're putting the miles on your car, and I had planned to rent a car because I didn't wanna take mine, but the whole rental company said no cars available when it came time to go pick it up, so I had no other choice but to drive mine, but, you know, when you already have a lot of miles on your vehicle, you don't wanna you wanna try to keep it as long as possible.
Yeah,
So,
for
but
sure. For sure. Yeah, I wish that Daniel had more leave so that way we could go to the few places that we do have,
I just
but
saw something strange behind you, a weird
it was my dog.
light. Oh,
It was my
okay.
dog.
Okay. It must have been the tail.
Yes, her bed
Okay.
is right down there,
Okay.
and
I
so
just
she
saw
just
this
walked out.
line of lights, like, I was like, "Something just moved back there." Okay.
Yep.
It's the doggy.
It's
Alright.
just Mandy, she just walked out. I try to tell people before I start, but I forgot today. But yeah,
That's
her bed
okay.
is in that corner, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, "Just so you know, because 'cause I've had a guy go, 'Oh my god, some just moved behind you,' and I'm like, 'Oh, that's just my dog, it's fine.
Okay.
She lives here,
Debunked.
it's fine.'" Yeah, I was hoping Roberta would do something. Do you have a haunted dog?
Well, maybe. I'm not really into the doll thing, but a friend of mine, her husband's, grandfather had a antique store and they were closing it down. So they were moving all the stuff out of it. And she sent me a picture of this wall of dolls or whatever. And she goes, "Do any of these dolls? Are you interested in any of these dolls?" I was like, "Well, sure." There was like this little boy doll. I was like, "I'll take him." And so she got him and then took him home until she could see me again. And she had said, like, there was a few times, like, the cat ball went off on him, and her husband didn't really like the energy of him at all.
Mhm.
So when I got him about a month 2 months ago or whatever, and I brought him home, and he's actually sitting up on my dresser. I put a cat ball on him, and then within I don't know, couple nights after I brought him home, middle of the night, the cat ball's going off, flashing. And I'm like, "Ugh, okay." And then it stopped, and then it did it again. I was like, "Alright." I just went over and turned it off. I'm like, "Alright, no more of that." And my
Yes, we're not
husband's like, "Yeah,
communicating
that
right now.
we're not communicating right now." My husband's like, "Darn doll set off the cat ball last night." I'm like, "I know." So, he's still sitting up there, but the cat ball's turned off. I haven't even tried to
Yeah.
communicate with him yet.
I don't really if she needs me, she comes to me in my dreams. So
Mm,
I have this stuff on her, but I usually will not communicate with her. And I had to set some pretty firm boundaries when she got here because I left her up here
yeah.
and I walked downstairs one night and I know I'm very familiar with when they change the energy. And I had walked into the kitchen and it felt like I was walking into my haunted house again. And I
Boy.
was like, absolutely not. She doesn't like me telling the story because she's got my whole body lit up with chills right now. She's just kind of like, you just
Mhm.
keep telling this story again. You just keep telling the story again. But yes, I'm going to tell the story again, Berta. But I told her, I was like, if you're going to be here, you cannot negatively impact my house. Absolutely not. That is not okay on any day of the week.
Yeah.
But I had talked to my psychic medium friend, and she said she doesn't like being cooped up in the studio. She thought she was going to be more a part of your family. And so I
Mhm.
got her, I gave her a rocking chair. And I always joked before about why do people give haunted dolls rocking chairs? And then my dumbass gives her a rocking chair. So she has her own rocking chair in the living room, and that's where she stays. So,
That's funny.
yep, gets to look
But
out the window.
so then on your recording days, you bring her up with you.
Mhm.
So she's a part of that. That's good.
Yep.
She gets to meet new people.
Daisy's so funny. My middle, she's my birth daughter because we're blended, so we have 3. And she
Mhm.
goes, "You're not gonna be one of those people that start feeding them, are you?" And I was like, "Well, I already offered her chocolate." And she's like, "Oh."
That's funny. It's not feeding, it's just an offering. That's all it
It's an
is. It's just
offering.
an offering. They're not gonna they can't how they ingest it, right? It's just an offering.
Right. If that's the worst thing I do as a parent, I think she's doing pretty good in the parent department.
Mhm. Yeah. She didn't wanna be in the purple room anymore. She wanted to be kinda the only spirit,
Mhm.
you know?
Yep.
So
Now she is not the only spirit per se, but
right.
my house spirit, I mean, he's in and out. I don't feel him all the time anymore. He's in and out. But, I did tell Jocelyn before Roberta got here, like, this is his place. Like, he's not negative. He's just kind of here. He goes with the flow of the house. But he lives here. Like, he died right on the other side of this wall.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So she's pretty quiet, but She does like the lights. She'll communicate with the cat balls and she'll use the flashlight,
Mhm.
but I usually set the flashlight up, but I just didn't today. That is, I know we already talked about it. That is just the coolest thing to me, especially the
Yeah.
twist ones.
Yeah, and those are really the only ones that'll work because the other ones are too difficult. You have to have something that can be easily manipulated in a way, or
Mhm.
energy can manipulate it. The ones that have to click on or whatnot, they can't manipulate that. It's just too much of a force to do. But they can manipulate that. You just have to set it just right to where it's can easily be on and off. Just a
Mhm.
slight energy movement that they can manipulate it. Yeah,
Yep.
I love using those.
Yep. Now, when you go to Asheville, have you considered going to the Grove Park?
No, I think we were just planning Biltmore and then that was about it.
Well, Grove Park has a spirit. Her name is the Pink Lady, and
Mhm.
she's also quite amazing. I've had an interaction with her, and she
Cool.
is really cool, and she has a really sad story. They don't know who she is. She was visiting a room on the 5th floor. She was an undocumented guest, and they don't know if she jumped or she was pushed, but she fell from the 5th floor and fell to her death, and her
Is this a place that you can stay at? Is
Yeah.
it like a well, maybe we should I'll look into it. Maybe we could because we fly into Charlotte and then
Mhm.
I'm renting a car and driving into Ashmore or Ashmore.
Asheville.
Ashmore? Asheville. Ashmore. Flying into Asheville. So I'll look that up and maybe we can stay there that night.
It's really cool. It is really cool. It's the Omni owns it, but
Yeah. Okay.
you can go and visit, you can walk around, like, it is a really beautiful place, but I didn't know it was haunted when we went,
Mhm.
and just happened to have I was talking to somebody, and her name is Lish, she's the elevator attendant, and so I was talking to her, and I asked her about the Pink Lady, and she told me all these stories and encounters that she's had with her, and
Yeah.
then I had gone to the 5th floor to go to the room to take a picture in front of the door because I am who I am, and my phone started playing music, and she manipulates radios, TVs,
Interesting.
lights, and I wasn't playing music at 10 o'clock at night, and it just on full blast, a random song started playing on my phone, so it was very cool.
Wow. And, tell me the name of that place again.
It's called the Grove Park, and it's probably about 20 minutes from Biltmore, maybe not
Okay.
that much, but it's in that same little area of Asheville.
Cool. Yeah, I'll look it up. That'd be cool.
It was
Yeah, I
very
wanna
cool.
try experience. When you go to places and you go on a haunted vacation per se, you wanna try to hit as many places as you possibly can, right, in that short amount of time you have. So, yeah, if I'm there, yeah, we can definitely check it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Tell everybody where they can find you, like YouTube, Facebook, like, where can everybody come and
Yeah.
follow along?
So, Facebook, of course, Soul-Lo Paranormal. Same on YouTube, Soul-Lo Paranormal. TikTok, Soul-Lo Paranormal. I'm on all those platforms. And tonight, 7 p.m. Well, this will air later, but
Yeah.
tonight at 7 p.m., March 17th, my premiere's out. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's up on YouTube at
Now,
McIntyre Villa.
how often will your episodes release?
So that's it's not gonna be as often. I may like, when I do collabs, I may put together videos for myself, but honestly, I've been so busy. So, it just kinda depends on when I go do a solo. It's not cheap to rent these places out all by myself.
No.
So, I can't do it on a monthly basis. When you're looking at 3, 4, $500 a night to stay
Yeah.
somewhere, I can't do that on a monthly basis. So, it'll be few and far between, but, I put stuff out on TikTok, I put stuff out on Facebook, and then when I release the video, yeah, it'll be on YouTube. Right now, I have a video up from the Aurora brothel that I was at a few months ago, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, then McIntyre comes out today.
Well, I can't wait to
Yeah.
watch it. Are you gonna have a premiere?
Yeah. Premiere tonight at 7 p.m. So jump on the chat and we can talk our way through it.
Oh, well, I might be driving, so I might miss it.
That's
I
okay.
probably will be driving, but I will definitely I look forward to seeing it. If I'm not driving, then I will be on the premiere, but it
Yeah.
really it is snowing where we're going right now, and so I'm not
Yeah.
sure what the road so if it's too late before we can get out of here, then I'm gonna stay and we'll leave tomorrow morning, but hopefully we can get out of here, but because it's not
Yeah.
snowing here.
Yeah. Yeah, we got snow yesterday. Well, not yesterday, the day before. Coming when I was coming back from Texas on Sunday, and then it snowed. We got about an inch. That's about it. But it's
Yeah.
all gone now. It's out of here, but it's already melted off.
Yeah, that's
So
probably
weird.
how it'll be up there, but it's in the mountains, so I just never know, you know?
But yeah. Gotta be careful.
Yep. Well,
Gotta be
thank you so
careful.
much. Guys, go follow Erica and Soul-Lo Paranormal. Go interact with her. Make sure you're watching her videos, and you can
Yeah.
find her anywhere. And if you're in the area and they want to collab with you,
Yeah.
do they just send you a message on one of the
Send me a
platforms?
message. Yeah, send me a message. I'd love to collab with any teams. I will travel for an investigation.
Hey,
Yeah.
travel for ghosts.
Travel for ghosts. Yeah. Thanks,
Well,
guys.
thank you so much. Y'all go check her out. And while you're there, check out Ghost Gossip Pod, Ghost Gossip Podcast, and send all your ghost gossip to ghostgossip247 at gmail.com. And until next time, they'll see you later.